Hey folks, this is Wrestling Crayon coming at you. It's been over a week since I've done a video, and I'm here to tell you a story. But before I tell you the story, a little housekeeping. I have my Leonessa, a little bent billiard, I guess you'd call this. In it I'm smoking some, where is it? Over here. Some blue balls, which is a blueberry aromatic from Just for Him. And I've also got a glass of scotch and Coke Zero. Cheap scotch, but when you're mixing, that's all you want. So on the way to Arkansas this last week, I decided to take a new route. There are lots of ways to get from where I live in Missouri to where I work here in Arkansas. There's only a couple of them that involve major roadways, and the rest of them all involve minor back roads, trips through the mountains, across lakes, through valleys, etc., etc., and that also means there's critters out there along the road, in the water, and stuff like that. This is, it's a game-filled area. It's not big game. It's not like Montana or anything like that, but it's game. There's lots of deer and, I don't know, there may even be elk and stuff like that in the woods. There's cats, dogs, wolves, people say mountain lions, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to try and actually tell the story and keep my pipe lit at the same time, which may be difficult. So, I've traveled this road, or different variations of this route, for the last 14 years, give or take. And before that, I lived in a rural part of Maine for 9 years that actually had the same sort of wildlife, but it also included moose. And I have encountered deer, elk, caribou, moose, and all kinds of stuff pretty much since the day I started driving. But for whatever reason, this past Sunday, I wound up taking a route that I'd never taken before. It started where I live in Missouri, went down through the town of Aurora, and then to a place called Shell Knob, and then into a place on the border of Missouri and Arkansas called Blue Eye. And then it was on Route 311, south of Blue Eye. And when I'm driving at night, I'm always vigilant for stuff, but I'd never been this way, and so I was being a little more careful than usual, which is a good thing, because as I came up over the top of a hill, started heading down the other side, I could see deer in the road. One of them was in the road, and two were on the side of the road. So I slowed down, as is a good idea with this in this situation. And I guess, the one that was in the road finally wised up to the fact that there was, 5,000 pounds of steel coming at it, and took off with his buddies, or her buddies, I guess. I'm pretty sure they were all female, and headed towards the opposite side of the highway, the driver's side, off on the other side. So I slowed down. I was probably going about 30 miles an hour when I got real close to him. And right as I got up to them, the one that was standing in the road decided it had to be on the other side of the road again. And unfortunately for me, they all started across the road at the same time, and they just booked it, and they created a line, 1, 2, 3. stretched all the way across the road. Luckily, I was going slow, but I could not stop. And the last one that was, right in front of me as I got to it, bang, hit it with the driver's side front fender. I had, hit the brakes again, and I probably wasn't going more than 15 miles an hour, but sure enough, hit it, heard a pretty good thump, and then they all, their hooves don't get a lot of traction on the pavement, so they all scrambled around, and I could see all three of them take off back across the other side of the road onto the driver's side again, across the other lane. And I knew I didn't hit them that hard, but it ran off, and so I didn't, I didn't see like my headlight askew or anything like that, and I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. It's the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere on a rural road in Arkansas, so I just went on, and when I got finally to the house here, I got out and got my little camera phone with its light on it, checked out, and there's like 5 or 6 little deer hairs stuck in the body side molding on my truck. But maybe a scratch or two, but no dents. Fender didn't get cracked or bent or broken. No metal bent or anything like that. So basically, I think all of us wound up without a scratch, more or less, or certainly without any lasting effects. But in all the years I've been driving and all the wildlife I've seen, I've never hit anything before. So this was my first time, and I got to say it was exciting, I guess is the word for it, but not in the way that exciting things should be. But, there it is. So, bagged one. Guess I'm going to get my little deer decal, put it on my mirror, or whatever it is you do once you've smacked one, and hope it's the only one I've got. So, anyway, that's my brief little story, and I've got a lot more things that I want to record, but just thought I'd whip this one out there and say hello to everyone. Hope you enjoyed my story of meeting wildlife up close and personal, and we will catch you all in a future video coming up soon. Take care, everyone. Ciao.